talking about Anthony Edwards, how do we feel about it? He got a girl pregnant, Aisha Howard, and it has been well documented that Anthony Edwards was like, I do not want this child. I don't want to raise this kid. This is not something that I want to do. Takes it to court, It's his kid, obviously. He has to pay child support. He gets given the amount, and he's just like, I will pay it all up front. 18 years, boom, never talk to me again. How do we feel?
Ooh, my take might be different than most people's.
I mean, I think it's a great decision.
Go first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
then we're in line.
Yeah, do that. If that's how you feel, why not just pay it up front?
I think how he feels, to me, is wrong because I care about, like in my own situation, or not a current situation, but I care about having kids. Basically, I care about raising kids in the same type of household that I was raised in, which I feel like was a loving one. And I called him a flawed individual earlier, which is, even though strongly worded, I do feel like the way I see the world, if you don't want to raise your kid, like that to me is like not right. However, besides all that, if he already said that he wasn't going to do that, you feel me? He already said he didn't want to do that and wasn't going to do that. So the only thing to fulfill that obligation that he needed to do was pay that money. And if you're just going to pay it all up front, then he's fulfilled the contractual obligation. I think it's a great move if you're not going to do the rest. You know what I'm saying? It might be kind of funny, but at the end of the day, it's like, bro already said he wasn't going to participate. So let me just fulfill this duty and keep it moving.
I mean, I think he should still be in the kid's life.
But he's not going to.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
No. I think he's gonna. I don't think Anthony Edwards is gonna completely shun this kid and not acknowledge that the child is his. I don't think he wanted the kid, and I think that more so than that, I don't think he wants to interact with the mom. Mm-hmm. And so I think that he's probably not going to speak to her too much or be the kindest to her. But and I'm being hopeful and idealistic, of course, but I would hope that he at least decides to spend time with the kid, allows the kid to know he fathered a child, you know? And I think there is a bigger problem with this because now Anthony Edwards, I want to say already before this, has like 3 kids with 3 different baby moms. Mm-hmm.
So wait, but what based on your actions is, like, I feel like you're giving him the benefit of the doubt when he literally said the opposite.
Yeah,
what benefit of the doubt?
That he's going to be in the kid's life.
I guess,
well, because everything that he said was before the child was born. And I think you talk differently before this life is now here because he was still trying to convince her to get an abortion.
Yeah.
So I think that's why he said what he said.
I don't think he's earned the benefit of the doubt. I hear you though.
Well, no, because you don't know, because you also don't know what his relationship with those kids are.
I think
at all.
I think
we know what he said.
Yeah.
I think we know what he said before the child was born when there was still an opportunity to get an abortion. But he could still be present in those lives and not be around the baby mother. I don't think it's fair to say that he's terrible in that sense. I think it's fair to say he's extremely immature, needs to think better about his decisions, and like all the shit. He has these flaws. But then again, like I'm also not gonna, he was raised in a single parent household. He doesn't know his father. So these are mentalities and issues and things that clearly run deeper, not an excuse for your actions in any capacity. Super immature. He's making the wrong decisions. He needs to think better and think deeper before he does these things. But I'm hoping naively, immaturely maybe, that he still is at least present in the child's life in some capacity. Because the kid's going to know that Anthony Edwards is his dad.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a bunch of different feelings about this, and I don't know necessarily where I land, because my first thought is, okay, from a financial standpoint, he's actually paying a lot more money than he would. By paying upfront due to the future value of money and inflation, she's actually receiving a lot more value than she would if she got monthly payments.
That's wrong, though.
Why?
Because child support changes as your income changes as well. And he's probably going to sign a bigger contract.
As your income changes?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not a set amount?
No, it's going to go up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, I think.
How does that work? That seems like it can't work. How
I looked into it.
Well, then how do they know how much it costs to pay it up front?
I don't think people do that often. I think this was like a clever tactic from a business standpoint.
But you understand what I'm saying, right? That
Yes.
like 1.5 million now is more than...
It's based off what he's making now. What you're saying, I get 100%.
Yeah.
With the value of money, inflation, all that shit, yes.
Because that was my only reason why I was like, okay, this might actually be a good thing. Because other than that, I'm like, okay, he's, depending on who this woman is, he obviously doesn't think highly of her.
Yeah.
So he probably doesn't think that she is going to be the best with her money. If you think this way about it, like, it seems like he's setting his kid up for failure by giving her this massive bag at once, in which she has an opportunity to blow it in a year or two. You know what I mean? So it seems irresponsible for the kid's life because a steadier income flow is safer and makes sure that the kid will be all right regardless. So that seems immature. And the way that it comes out just as like a fuck you is like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not rocking with it.
She's also 38 years old.
Yeah.
She has a kid from Lil Baby.
Mhm.
And so there is another bigger conversation about, you see the same thing with Jalen Green, who just got that Dre Michelle girl who's like, I think almost 40 years old.
Yeah.
Pregnant, you know what I mean? Like, there is a bit of a predatory mindset that seems to come through with some of these older women who know the game, know how these young niggas move, know that they could be a little bit reckless with their money, and then are like, well, I'm gonna go collect a bag, because then it's like, yo, why are you having this kid?
Yeah.
Why are you in this relationship with this person? Do you really even care about either Anthony Edwards when you were with him or the kid that you're about to have? Or is this whole thing a ploy to set yourself up to do something when you don't have a job?
It kind of ties back to the YG song, you know, and how well this is legal. This isn't necessarily what he was talking about. It is predatorial.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. So there's just so many layers to this before you get to the fucking hilarious jokes, because she then responded to people saying this shit and is like, why y'all hating on me just for doing all this shit? A lot of y'all get pregnant from your weed man just to go get some free weed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all, what are we really talking about here? I'm doing my own thing. I already had money. You know what I mean? I'm already getting child support payments from Lil Baby. Da 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 da. Like, I don't need this, but like a lot of y'all hoes hating on me is just getting pregnant by some broke niggas. So what are we really doing?
Just terrible.
Yeah, disagree with
terrible overall.
Yeah, you hate to see it.
Bad person.
But you know,
bad person.
I think Anthony Edwards will continue to be rich and have money, and I hope that he's just going to learn from this and realize that bringing life into the world is a big thing.
Yeah.
And clearly these women know who you are, and the abortion stuff isn't always 100%. Not everyone's down for that.
Yeah.
And you can't assume people are going to be down for that. And you need to be careful with your shit, bro.